Hi there, you're watching Gardens and Graveyards. My name is Charisma and today we're in the garden. It's overcast, but it's really like bright. We are gonna plant a couple of Hebes. If you don't know what a Hebe is, it's a shrub and typically it's flowering. Some of them are really small blooms and some of them have great big blooms. Just depends on the variety, but generally speaking, Hebes are grown for their foliage. Lots of different color variations in their foliage. So I kept seeing Hebes in other gardens and I would see them and think, wow, what is that? I need that in my garden. And then I would completely forget about it. And that happened over and over until I finally just buckled down and said, I'm on a mission. I'm buying this thing. And I bought this one right here, which has been great. It's great interest. And it bloomed the first year. It didn't bloom this year. I'm not really sure what's going on with it, but it's growing. It looks good. The foliage looks great. And it likes it there. So I was at the nursery a couple days ago and I found two more. And I struggled with trying to figure out exactly where I'm going to add those into my garden. They get about 2.5 feet wide by 2.5 feet tall, thereabouts. And well, it doesn't take up a lot of room. I just couldn't really picture it in my head. And I was determined that I was going to get these in the ground because I bought one called Marilyn Monroe. And Marilyn Monroe's death anniversary is coming up this week. This video will be released on her death anniversary. She died 59 years ago in 1962. So in dedication to Marilyn, I am getting this Marilyn Monroe Hebe in the ground today. And what I decided was, since this Hebe seems to love her space there so much, I'm gonna go ahead and put another one right there and another one right there. Now you might notice that I have a little tiny evergreen. It is really struggling in this space. What is it? I can't remember what it's called. This is an Juniperus horizontal mother lode. And it is supposed to be a ground cover, but I think it's getting way too much shade. It wants full sun. So yeah, I'm gonna pull that up and move it and put my Hebe right here. This pot with the mums in it used to be there, but we were thinking that it was shading this guy out too much, and it actually has put on a teeny bit more growth since we moved that pot away. It's still just not in its ideal location. So the Hebes that I got are, as I mentioned, Marilyn Monroe and Raspberry Ripple. The Marilyn Monroe is the one that wants full sun, and I think this one is, and this one I think said full sun to part shade. So the Raspberry Ripple will go over here and the Marilyn Monroe will go down there. So Raspberry Ripple gets to be 24 to 30 inches tall and wide. It attracts butterflies. It has a raspberry pink flower, and you can see it has these beautiful maroon margins, and they grow in zones 8 to 10. So not a huge growing zone. I think it doesn't really love like icy winters or like icy winter winds. So that spot right there, protected, will be absolutely perfect for it. And then this one, the Marilyn Monroe, gets dark pink bottle bottle brush flowers. It grows 24 to 36 inches tall and wide, so a little tiny bit bigger. And it is also zones 8 to 10. Once these plants are established, they do not need water in my garden. So the Marilyn Monroe, you could see they have some like pinky color, like a dark pink, borderline purple tip. But more importantly, and you could barely see it, but there's a little white margin on the leaf, and it's very subtle. I suspect that maybe when it's bigger you'll see it even more. And just as a little update here, this is my Hebe. See if I have a tag still. I don't have a tag. I think this is the silver queen. I'll try to find the tag and get it up on the screen. So see, I'm having a lot of like, I mean, they do get woody inside, that's normal, but I just feel like this time of year I shouldn't be getting all of this going on. So anyway, let's just get things planted. Oh, the other thing that I'm going to do is I will put plant tone in the hole and give it a little slow release fertilizer. Outside of that, maybe I'll give it fertilizer, like a granule fertilizer, early next spring to help with some top growth. But most importantly, you want your roots to grow, and that's what's going to give you a good healthy plant. So you can see I have lots of ajuga in this area, and so I'm just, if I have to break off some that has some roots, just making a little space for it outside of the circle that I'm digging. And just because you have ground cover doesn't mean you don't have weeds. So while I'm here, I'm digging out some weeds I don't need and making space for this Hebe. You can also see how sandy my soil is. That's our native soil. Great drainage. I got these on clearance because they're a little bit root bound. They're not terrible. I'm able to just sort of loosen them up here. The least amount of breaking I can do, the better off it is for the plant. Basically just letting her know, like, hey, you can grow down and get all the nutrition you want now. All right, a little bit deeper. All right, so that was that. It didn't take very long, and I think they're gonna be really happy in those spaces. So we have the raspberry ripple there, and it'll have a little bit of protection from this shrub and this pot, and it'll fill in this space really nicely, I think. And then there will be this one, and then this one down here, that's the Marilyn Monroe, and our yard starts sloping pretty dramatically right here. So I'll probably have to come back and fill in with a little bit of soil now and again until it's established, just because things kind of wash away. I did end up adding a little bit of potting soil right on top. Our soil is so sandy that you know, I save as much as I can, but it's just really hard. Like, all of this is from that hole, and it's already sunk down below. It's already sunk down below the ground cover. That's how quickly the sand just sifts. And so I was left with not enough soil to put back in. So I just grabbed some potting soil and filled that up with potting soil. And I think the plant will probably be happy with that little bit more rich nutrition. Then I did the same for the Marilyn Monroe Hebe. And then the horizontal juniper that was struggling so badly, we placed over here at the edge of the property. It will have a full sun, and I think that'll be a really beautiful place for it. We still need to remove all of these extra staghorns, the staghorn sumac and all of her babies. We're going to be removing all of these. but this is a winter hazel, so it'll be a nice shrub. And then this is a leprechaun something or another, and it's maybe like a 3-foot shrub, so it'll be nice to have something low but wide growing there with that really bright pop of green. To show off this leprechaun plant, this is why I bought it. These beautiful dark foliage, and the new growth is this bright green. So cute. It is a pittosporum leprechaun, 3 foot by 3 foot. Yeah, I adore it. A master gardener grew this, and I purchased it at a master gardener sale. Anyway, so I think that's gonna do great there, much better than where it was. Beautiful new Hebe additions to this kind of evergreen island. I'm excited about it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you were inspired, and I hope you get out in your garden and plant something, and do not be afraid to switch things up. If something's not working out for you, you don't like where it's planted, or it's just not thriving where you planted it, don't wait, just move it, put it somewhere where it's going to be happy and blessed, and put something else there. So this gave me an opportunity to find new shrubs for the garden, and I'm always amazed that there's still space because I look around and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I don't have any more room to garden, but that's just not true. There are so many little pockets that I can still fill and create new structure and new vibrancy and, you know, structure and just interest in the garden. So gardening is always so beautiful in that way, that it's always growing, it's always changing, it's always like teaching you how to be flow, and I need that in my life. I don't know about you, but I need that. Just chill and flow in the garden. Anyway, so thanks so much for watching. I hope that you will like and subscribe, and you know, comment, ask questions. I love interacting with the audience, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.